Good evening, good evening. To want to welcome all our viewers and listeners across the globe. Just bear with me a little bit. Good evening, good evening. To want to welcome all our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you. Today is Sunday. This is your regular editions of the Examiner. We're right here this evening, as usual, to have a national conversation. Lots unfolded during the week, and what is our own expectations? What were some of the ridiculous things that happens during the week? We're going to take a look at it, and of course, you, our valuable listener, viewers, and you will also be part of the conversation. We want to welcome you to this editions of the Examiner. The analysts, if some are here, and Ketot and the rest of the folks, the link is already out there. Please make time if you can, and we can also hopefully to activate the line here, but to discuss some of the things that are happening inside Liberia, our expectations during the week, the end of the week, and the coming week. But let's take a quick commercial, and I will be right back.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events, such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services, and your friends in business.
There you have it. That's your media team friends, and we're here always to bring you news, not just only from the government, but from also in our community, and that, of course, whatever functions you have, let us know. That's how we keep the up running of this network, and some good folks that are making the regular contribution. That is very, very much vital. Okay, let me go. Journalist Robert Azango is here this evening, and we say happy Sunday. We are almost in July. The year is almost gone. Benedict, good to have you. Yvonne Zize, good evening. It's Breakable, good to have you. Francis, good to have you. And the rest of the speed, where are we speeding going? But let me just bring in Mr. Zango here.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Just it looked like from what I see, okay, like he tried to position himself. I think he hit something, the wrong button here. So we'll wait like he comes back. Today I decided to be in the Oval Office. All right, maybe that's a good indication, So I decided to be in the Oval Office. That's the executive mansions. Okay, Mr. Zango is back.
Okay.
I thought there was some abrupt rate of arrest issue way on the board. What can I imagine? With the sheriff that was so fast to deliver that kind of rate. Okay, my dear brother, good evening, happy Sunday. How you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. How you doing? I like your background, man.
Yeah, well, what's going on with your system? Check it up. I think something touching there that is not adding up, so that you can. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna get you back. Let's see here. Wait now. What going on? So I hope the liberal has not infiltrated your system.
No, he's all right. He's all right.
He's right now. He doesn't know how I got your number. So the link and all of that. He's sending me text. He's freaking out now. How did man manage to get a number? Like,
Yeah, yeah. Boy, he'll be okay.
Yeah. How was the week? What a crazy week! A lot unfolded in
It
our
was
country.
a crazy week. I mean, the I started off on this show talking about the situation with the representatives who were incarcerated.
Hmm. Oh, I'm not sure what's something is not right. Double check your system and see what's going on there so that is that
A minute,
is that
let me check on something. I'll be right back. Okay, let me
yeah,
check.
yeah. Okay, let's do it that way. Let's do it that way. All right. Okay, folks, just bear with us. You know, these technical stuff, and so sometimes um, you know, it happened. Let me just get it off completely. By the way, we will also be looking at the live view, your comments, your tweet, whatever you think that is concerning. Some of you chose not to call, which is okay, but you are also part of the process and we'll continue to engage you. And that's what we want to do. In the conversations of our national proud, we must accommodate all voices. It doesn't matter what is politically placed to us. That doesn't matter. We talk about Tabata here. You have the right to talk your own Tabata as well. So you are at liberty as long there's some sort of sense of civility in terms of what you want to express and how you intend to pursue it. We are cool. We are okay with us. You can call us whatever you want to call us as long as you're not taking my stuff away. That is okay. But we must all be serious. The issue of Liberia, how we go about to discuss Liberia, we must also be able to provide alternative if we can. If we feel the system is not working, then what could possibly be the next system? How do we, in a civilized context, to have such a conversation? Unfortunately, that is not happening. Everything is being expressed out of emotions, sentiment, to satisfy our political Goliaths because it doesn't go our way and then it's wrong. And if it goes the way that it should be, then it's not right because of the polarized society that we have. And we are fully aware of that. And so that's the challenge. And it's all of us challenge because the better Liberia becomes, the better we all will be. And that is very, very vital in these national conversation to be stable, to have that temperament, and to listen to one another. So we should not just shove stuff in the throat of people, and that's what we do as a people. Even be in the media and even outside of the media. Sometimes you just want caller to say it your way. No, it doesn't work that way. Let the people speak their mind. That's how the society now. It is not of yesterday. The time has evolved significantly to where no longer people can just shut up. Anything that is not of that maybe contravening their civil liberties, of course, people are speaking. By you liking it doesn't suggest that I should like it. You will have your own version. That is okay, and that's what we tend to do, and that is our ultimate goal on this network. And I've said it consistently. We are not for, we are not against. We are not a resistant institutions or arm against the government. We just stand in the gap to process the information, have a conversation here. Let me see. Mr. Sazango is back. Hopefully, those
Well,
those
I
people are tempering, those people are tempering with that thing. I told you, the liberal is a very he been texting me. Oh, so you bypass me. The guy is jealous. I don't know whether it's a constructive one or whatever it is, but I'm not gonna waste my time on it. You will deal with it anyway,
no,
because
anyway, I know tonight you want to talk about the things from the week. And
yes.
I started off. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe it's on your side, but all my connections seem to be okay. I started off by saying that we initially started this whole journey talking about the case in the Supreme Court. And the last time I remember we spoke about it, I did mention that the circuit court judge had returned it back to the a magistrate court, and there was another chance that there was a low probability that the request from the prosecutor was going to be granted. And we've learned now that it has all been settled from what's been reported in the media, that the case will go forward. In other words, they were saying that the bond that was set, or the prosecutor was saying that the bond that was set was not sufficient. And so the decision has been made that the bond is sufficient. So it's sufficient. So, I mean, you know, whether that was a delay tactic or whatnot, I don't know, but it doesn't matter. We're moving forward. The second thing that kind of got my attention a little bit was the case that has to do with Maryborough. Again, we before the court again. People are saying that it might be politically motivated. I don't know how true that is, but it's one of those things that we got to continue to process. Some people are saying it's a witch hunt. We'll see again. The public needs to understand that the burden of proof is always on the side of the prosecutor and not the defendant. So it's the prosecutor who has to make that case and show why you say it's a witch hunt. On the sidelines, we've heard. You want to say something?
Yeah, I want us to do it step by step.
Okay.
You know, if the liberal is not here, it's always as a suitable and good conversation. But when you see the liberal and the Minnesota guys, then jump in and then become a convoluted one here. But let's take it step by step.
Okay.
The issue of this wish on here is not a surprise. That is more or less for me is typical always when coin flips on the other side. And what I would like it or not, whatever laws or whatever being violated or authority taking decision, and you are in the past government, that is being labeled as a wish hunt. But we as a people, what should we do to hold our breath and sort of give it a sort of conversation and say, wait a minute, what is wish hunt is all about? Because the reason I'm saying it, when they pick up any ordinary Liberian, you know myself, we don't hear anything. Nobody say it's a wage hunt. There are hundreds of people being picked up for alleged violation. Whether they will go through the process, they will process, then allow these things to play out. You and I, we will never talk about wage hunt. But when those guys at the top and those who were in those barrels before, when the law turns around, then I remember in the past too, they were enforcing laws, and we were saying it's a wage hunt. So the coins are flipped. So what is the understanding of this real wage hunt? Is that something we should really pay attention or allow the process to play out? Watson Ketter, the man from the constitutional state of Connecticut, is here. Formerly reaction, but more or less now he's independent, he claimed to be, and he is, for which the Liberal is not giving him most of the time now. He has gone now with Sissy Boyott, the team politician from Minnesota, so they're doing their stuff. But I think Azango is here to put it. This Ketra, good evening, welcome. Yeah, so
thank you, Mr. So. Hi, Mr. Azango.
How you doing?
Mr. Azango, what should we do? We as commentators, facilitators, and people listen to us when these things come from in the portals, which of course they will always be coming. How should we go about to give a sort of interpretation to this?
Well, I don't think that anything we can do to affect the case. I think what we can do from our vantage point is basically to speak on the accuracy of the information that's being presented. Now, keep in mind that the prosecutor always has to prove their case. They always have to present evidence. So I think we need, like we did in the Kofa case, we need to look at the evidence that's being presented, and rational minds and rational people can think and say,
I'm not sure what's happening to Mr. Zanko line here. It kept kicking. I don't know which system. Okay, Kata, good that you were here. Happy Sunday, my dear brother.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. So.
Is that a Chrome you are using? Which system? Why is just kicking you out?
No, this is the system I use every time. I don't know what's going on. I mean, my thing is set up. When you send me the link, I just click on it and move forward on it. So I don't know what it is, why your system is bumping me off. But, I would just refresh every time and get back in. That's the quickest thing I do.
Yeah, please don't give up because now there we go. The Liberal, definitely the Liberal going to use this soundbite to say this guy, he will accuse me. That woman here, I know him very, very well.
I guess the Liberal in the back pushing him out.
Yeah, I hope the Liberal is not tampering with anything behind me. I'm not saying anything from my end here, but this is the kind of conspiracy that he's going to champion on this network now. So Zango, I told you this, this man here, he did. Trust me, this guy going to run with this, and his people going to grab it. Oh my goodness, what a Sunday today. Do I need to have a sort of, do we need to praise Keto for this here? I don't think so.
You gotta call the LIBERIA and tell him to stop. He probably put Mr. Azango because he know we're gonna put saying in the carry tonight.
Yeah. This is not a good thing. This total man here, it look like Napo a foot in the water, 1 foot in the water, 1 foot out, and chanting so that Mr. Azango cannot be heard or find something to say. But I don't know, we'll see. I don't know what's going on. Nothing is happening from my end. Actually. Okay. All right. Yeah, Keto. Mr. Azango, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, okay, then carry on, and then I will go to Keto.
Okay, so basically I was saying that it's like the same thing in the Kofa case. We just have to look at the evidence that has been presented, and we can, what I think we need to do is we need to educate the public as the process moves on. We can't take for face value what either side is saying. We need to educate the public on what's been going on. You know, everything in Liberia is political. So if we can kind of separate the politics out of the facts as we understand it, I think it'll be a better appreciation from the public for us in our effort.
And that's a very crucial point you mentioned before I go to Keto. How do we go about to do that? You came, I'm just using like a case study. Sisi Goyo was here, he was Tiawan Gongo man. From there, he make his political choice, which is okay. With on Keto, he would say he was reaction, what happened, what not happened. He tend to independence. How can people like, I think I am the only guy perfectly can get this done because I've been who I am. So would they listen to Keto even when Keto tried to take it? Because some of his soundbites, sometimes you can still see that sentiment, that feelings of reaction still in his tone, still in his expression. So how can the audience pay heed to that?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you told him Mr. Keller. You know, that's a good point. I'm not sure, but we just have to play by ear and see. The audience just have to, we have to separate ourselves from the rest of the noise, I guess, and present the best case, not the best case, but the facts as we're intelligent people, we articulate people. We can move with the best of them. So I'm sure we can present realistically what's going on, and the public will have an appreciation for us. Sister, how you doing, my brother?
What a night. Jesus. Look at him. So you the one messing with
I am proudly seated on Selling Rice Boulevard near Mirabel.
No, this is what I was saying. The kind of behavior of see what is happening now. I mean, how can the ordinary person out there now can say whatever good analysis he might provide at the end of the day, but his startup tells her exactly which way he's going. Who is messing with Mr. Azango this evening? I can't believe what's going on.
Oh, so because I provide analysis, you think I ain't get a lens? I ain't get a frame? You got to provide everything to a lens. So even, I mean, whatever somebody said, mother, that will bury his conscience under this. I can go 3, 4, 6 years. He had a lens. My brother Robert, how you doing, my man? It's nice to see you.
You too, my brother.
Showing you providing critical analysis sooner like Bufians can on this kind of platform where Mr. So can want to pigeonhole people. I see you taking yourself out of that. Not like the lack of Woton Keto, like a Kanye, and just thought about that and shoot and go. Thank you so much, my brother, for holding down the platform.
No problem.
We're going to take a break. They said Lofians are peaceful.
First shot.
All right, this is what we do. The analysts are here. We are about to scramble on some of the news, making headline. Hold your breath. Oh, Lord Jesus Christ of Nazareth. What a Sunday night, Jesus.
Oh my God.
This is something else.
Oh my God.
So let me just publicly denounce and rebuke in the name of Jesus Christ. Take your foot from in the water. Take your foot from. Don't be in America and get 1 foot in total. You are the one tampering with Mr. Azango so that I can be the bad guys, so that you can have a talking point that you're going to run with for the next 1 month as we're about to enter July. So I just telling you now, be watch out. The Liberal Progressive, good evening, welcome.
Good evening, Mr. So. Thanks for having me. Good evening, all of you guys. Finally, good guys. You know, tonight programs, it seem like you have gone beyond everything
man,
that
how
you
you
thought.
talking to Serene Muscle now?
If I come and sit down in the car table with you, if I sit down there, you will not move. I got up. I got off the car table. People begged me. I got off the car table. You're talking now. You put him on. I got to sit down there again. Okay.
I beg you, don't go back to 2 times.
So no, but seriously, the panels that you gather here tonight, I don't even have to say anything. They're very smart people, very intelligent people. So I'm not too sure if I even fit in this group tonight, but I will do my best. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so like I said, we are taking a retrospect. A lot of crazy things unfolded during the end of the week, and what could possibly be our predictions. And the president was very aggressive, moving here and there, and other people. What happened to my own county? It was just insane. It was crazy. I don't understand what really went on here, but we're going to come to that. And as I said, okay. So, Keto, let me come to you. Then I will come to CC and then the Liberal Progressives. So, how can we remove ourselves from this sort of literally this crime saying that you took a side, your tone, your language? Someone can easily guess this is this guy. They will ever be. They can change. Now, it's our responsibility, and it's a serious problem for us as commentators, analysts, hosts. How we go about to have this conversation more or less influence and create some sort of apprehension to the public out there with respect to policy. How can we remove ourselves and have this sort of objective conversation for the good of the country first and foremost? Do we have the capability to do that?
Oh, Mr. So thank you for the show, and I'll like to say hi to my brother, sister, and Mr. The Libra again. Welcome. So it will be a difficult thing for us to.
I don't know why. Maybe he needs to restart his computer. Why it kept kicking it off?
I think Libra kicking or Libra the one that kicking, or you see smiling under there. Look at Libra smiling.
Mr. Zango, is that are you on a laptop or just
laptop.
You want to
a laptop?
You want to restart and see, then I can send you a fresh link?
Yeah, let me do that.
Yeah, I'll give you like 3-4 minutes and you restart and just shoot me a message and I'll send you a fresh link.
Well, you can send it now. When I log in, I'll just go to the
Well, what kind of kumbaya between these two people? So what's going on here?
Please stay out. I told you, please stay out of this. Please. You are the author of all of the things that are going on right now. Don't even make me to go there. All right. Today Sunday night. You're doing everything possible to dilute my conversation here this evening. I know you very well. And Sister will sit here. He would never say anything. He would never talk against it because all of you, after all, I put you in the same basket anyway.
With the deplorables, no problem. We agree.
He is very much disappointed with Sissy. I thought he was going to be the guy, something, but I didn't know he came and just up to already the bridge over troubled water. Okay, so Keto.
So, like I was saying, it will be difficult
when you give an honest opinions and analysis of issues, knowing your past history. How can one kind of validate?
So we look at the system. I'm not going to even cast the blame on this administration. From time immemorial, those agencies that were established to take care of certain or societal ill, right? They have always been politicized. They have always been looking up to the executive president to direct them. So the common man would think that anything that's happening in the country that has to do with criminality or arresting people from whether they are opposition or whatever, it will always have a political tone. They will always say the president doing this, the government try to, crack down on this and all that kind of stuff. I think if those agencies was operating independent of the executive, right, of the instruction from the executive, I think people will look in the direction that, okay, if CC committed a crime of um let's say fraud in school, and there's an agency established to check and balance the whole system and also bring corrupt people, they will not be saying, oh, maybe that the principal did this to bring CC down. They will say the school system investigated him and brought him down. Or if Mr. Tool, that always try to cut people off, if the board were like neutral and the board investigating, they will not say that Mr. So who tried to use his power on, you know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say here is, like LRA, like
that mean you will compare with corrupt behavior in Liberia because
The message
what
is
the
neutral. The message is
what the conduct that my boy I pay money for. The boy I pay money to be member of that why you compare us to local
I
government.
thought we supposed to elect you. You pay money.
Hello? No, please. Today is Sunday. The public, the audience deserves to get the real taste of Sunday. All right? Keto, go ahead.
Yeah. The labor just broke a nigga on the show. He paid money to be board chairman. Can you imagine that, brothers and sisters? Anyway, so as I was saying,
I don't know who he paid that money, Settle.
Man, don't drag me in your political problem. Don't reference
man,
me.
you just text me. You text me. You want me to power secret also? Yeah,
Go ahead quickly. Let's
so this the thing, right? Take for example, the police that are supposed to be independent and do an independent work, they will take instruction from the executive. The anti-graft institutions take instruction from the executive instead of going after. They don't have to wait for a president to say, we will crack down, we'll do this. Go after corrupt government official, whether past, present, go after them. Bring the kids. Don't wait for somebody to announce it. Once you do that, then you make people from the other side to start feeling that, oh, this thing is witch hunt. It's witch hunt, especially the way things are, moving. So you see, there are corruption in this administration.
Hold on, I gotta go to the other folks quickly. The way when you say the way things are moving, the accelerations to what a scale that determine that. Are you saying it's a witch hunt or what?
So what we see in this all the different investigation, we see only people from the opposition that have been put in jail. Take for example the case of the burning of the Capitol. We see that one of the individuals that were accused that also were charged, never went to jail. She has not been to court, but they have 4 of the opposition lawmakers going to jail and going to court. So how is that? Somebody can say in their own mind that it's political.
Are you saying that? Are you saying that or somebody? Are you talking about someone?
I'm saying it's political because why were you as an IG?
Meaning it's a witch hunt.
It is a witch hunt because why will you take a Priscilla Cooper who support Joseph Boakai, even though you implicated her in a burning of the Capitol, but she never went to jail, she never went to court.
Okay, let me hold you here. This is where the conversation becomes kind of a little dicey because we pull string here and there to suit us something. Say they're going to do first come, first serve. You came in here. I believe you're following the nature of the conversations we started. We want to look at what is happening in the past week and what could be our predictions. And Mr. Azanko inserted something very serious. I gave you a different shift in this conversation here. We as analysts, commentators, political pundits, whatever you will, some claim to be their political gurus, but their tone, their language determine the directions of their conversations, and one audience can make a educated guess. You listen to Keto, how can we remove ourselves so that we can give clear picture to the audience, to the society on things that are happening in order to be able to make informed decision. The informed decision will come from the legal side, from government or investigators. But our tone, our language is determine who we are. How can we set ourselves apart?
Well, first of all, I'm a political commentator, not a journalist. And so when I do my analysis, people understand that I have a frame of reference. I think what Keta is trying to preach here is that the only way things can look apolitical in Liberia is that the people that were stealing 6 years ago that said they were there for 27 years, it would not prosecute any one of them. You and your government ran that you were going to prosecute Joseph Boakai and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. The only thing your government was able to do was to have a military style vehicle. You went and arrested the late son of the former president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, put the man in jail, stole all the man money from a bank account, and that was the end of it. And you want to sit here and talk about, oh, a lot that they just go after opposition. No, let's get that clear. They're not going after opposition, they're going after CDC rogues. Look, I do not have a problem with witch hunting.
They're going after who?
CDC rogues. TV, rogue. You know, when I was small in LeBron, we had a Sunday school song we used to sing. And we used to go, oh, sinner, what shall we do when we see Jesus coming? In that song. So Joseph Boakai sing it too. Oh, TV, what shall you do when you see police coming? Glory, hallelujah. When you run to Jawia, but Jawia gave you way. Look, let me tell you something. We were first out country by fire by force. All witches are not equal. Some witches can only hair your head, and some witches can kill your children. We'll go after the top one, and we'll come to the one that can hair your head. You don't want to be hunted, don't be a witch. I get tired of this thing where people saying, oh, you know, and the government, they're only looking for people who are doing this. So y'all want to tell us that the only way we can prosecute one crime is to prosecute all crimes at the same time. Even in this great United States, when the Attorney General or the district, what was the thing, the DA asked a lot of cases, they cherry pick amongst the one that has the most gravity, and you go after it. So you have safe us this thing here. When you prosecuted people, you to Ellen Johnson put in jail. The only thing you have to do was to steal the money from a bank account.
This guy, I mean, today, for God's sake, today is Sunday. Instead of he's singing the gospel songs, he has made his own song on this network.
You know that song, that gospel song.
Long time ago.
The time we were reading my book about story from the Jew when they say, you hear that song?
All right. Okay. Mr. Collins, good evening. Welcome. So, Sisse already the
everybody.
And this is a complete intellectual provocation to Collins to come out of the shell because he has gone ballistic politically. Let me bring in the liberal. Liberals, good evening. Can you remove yourself effectively from these sort of literally, not really crime scene, but to say, yeah, this is what the liberal is saying. The liberal comes here, he takes his bullhorn, he's saying, he's club, he did not know me and I know them, but he's forceful in his argument. How can the audience take us to say, well, I'm going on LPR today, and I think I want to hear objectivity. As far as I'm concerned, the one and only person that is subjective, free of anything here is me. I can say that because I've not made any declaration, but you never knows. But let me just bring you in here. Who is provoking who here? Is that Sisse provoking Keto? We're not hearing you. I'm not going to be telling you your mic, this, that, here. I don't have time for that, please.
That's your job. That's the board chair. My mic is not on. Tell me. That's your job. And the board chair, I think, first of all, let me make an announcement very quickly. I have not been able to pay my monthly board chair money, so I am no longer going to be called board chair until I pay my money. So please don't call me board chair until you hear me say I'm a board chair. But let me say this here. Mr. So. Look, on a very serious note, when we come to these kinds of conversation, having engagement with each other on this platform, I've always say this. When you come out here, you are exposed. You have allowed yourself to be exposed. There's no question asked. You can't hide yourself for 2 hours and say you're not who you think you are. The audience are very smart. They would know very quickly, especially LPR audience. And so some of us have the ability to compartmentalize issues. Now, with that ability, we also will come out here and tell the audience. There's a saying in the English language or whatever conversation you say, in the interest of fairness, and you pronounce your position. I am never ever going to come out here and pretend to be who I'm not. I'm a supporter of President Bakai, and I speak from that perspective. Simple as that. You heard people coming here. They say they're coming here to go take a Tylenol and things that become are talking so much Tabata. They're taking Tylenol. So what? But as long as you know that when you come to LPR, especially when the liberal is talking about the government, that the liberal side is going to be with the government. Bring your Tylenol and take your Tylenol. Whatever headache you're gonna get is on you. Bring your Tylenol and take your Tylenol. I'm not lying to you. If I were to come out here and tell you, say, oh, I'm not this and this and that, and I'm an independent when I know I'm undercover sedition, hey, it's not acceptable. I'm not going to go through that. I'm not a member of Unity Party. I don't support Unity Party. People come out here, we know then that they are reaction, and then they say they're independent. Why independent are you? When will you become independent? When we kick you out of the office by the time you call yourself independent? Before then, you were here singing song, praising the man wearing over $5,000, $700,000 shoes. You don't want us to talk about it. The man go and dance booga all the time. We don't want us to talk about it. You dare say we shouldn't praise. No, President Bakai, the best. I would say so. However, Mr. So, and here's a good thing about us, those of us that support this government. The fact that we publicly announce our support for President Bakai, we also are now not entitled, but we should have the ability to criticize. Because when we criticize, people will view us. It's not coming to criticize because of envious and jealousy as the so-called independent, because they didn't get their way. But when we criticize, people know that we're criticizing from a perspective of true criticism, constructive criticism. And that's what we do here on this platform. So don't come here and trying to sell dressy stuff with the cutter talking about here and there. He will have no place on this show tomorrow. Watch, he comes tomorrow, his tune will change. The tune will change. And we know them. We know them. Here's what I'm going to say lastly, Mr. So. This show tonight is going to be a wonderful show. It's your show. It's going to be a wonderful show. But this is what I'm going to tell you. Whatever you do, if you want true conversation with no hindrance whatsoever, try not to wrap anything around the father of the nation. We will defend him. Because why? When the man come out and say things will not happen as usual, we will deal with corruption. He's dealing with corruption. The only issue I have, and it's my issue, it's not a government issue, is to throw old lady there in jail. I don't like that. The old lady still, let's talk to them. Let them get. I don't like throwing old lady in jail. That part I don't like. But that's me. The government is saying, Samson told, if your grandfather old man told come from the grave and still will throw you in jail. If your baby who the last baby before you go to Liberia, who will turn 18 in the next 2-3 years before you go to Liberia, if he still, we will throw you in jail. So they're even. We should be happy that this president is playing an even game. He's not selective.
Okay, thank you so much. I gotta go to Collins and then come back to Mr. I'm not sure why Mr. Zanko's system is throwing him off and on yet.
Because I press the man now, I can't want to press the man. You just kicking the man off. What the you know what happened? Since I pressed a song, Mr. Soldier kicking the man off.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. I think as a technical issue, I have to resolve it.
Yeah. Okay, so the Reverend, let me just bring you in quickly. You listen to Keto, you listen to Sese. You heard the liberal put the cap going as well doing. Wait, oh my goodness.
So here's my thing. Whether you UPS or Yashin or whatever you want to call your shin, we don't take 2029. Okay, that's a 2029 discussion. At the end of the day, people need to understand that our society is multifaceted. I mean, there are more important things to be talking about that will better the society than talk about whether you talk about Joe Boyka sleeping or whether you talk about Joe we are doing Buga dance. How does that bring electricity to Liberia? How does that bring food production, increase food production? One of the things about the West agenda is food production. How does that talk about increasing our education?
Mr.
Slow down.
I don't want to make you.
Okay, all right. But then you
No,
have
no,
to.
slow down. I
But
told you
Mr.
on this
Sango, he says that we
platform
multifaceted, so we can talk about
I
plenty
told
things.
you on this platform before, we sing together, we don't talk together.
Yeah, me, I sing together.
Right.
Because when you start talking your tabata,
Hold
I
on
have
now,
to get
hold
involved.
on. So
Okay.
at the end of the day, how does it help the student increase our educational value? We have a professional educator here on the show. I mean, he can talk about that. The thing that we admire most about the West is that you're right, Samson, you're right, Mr. Toole. Compartmentalization is important, but none of that discussion about who died, who went to Grand Jail, what the other one was carrying a motorbike with motorbike boys. How does that feed our children? That is where I come from. When we talk about the issue of justice, of injustice in our judicial system, those are the things that affect us because we all want investors to come to the country, but we cannot put our foundation right. None of these things can happen. You have made it clear. You are a supporter of the president. That's fine. But at the end of the day, did you go to Liberia to vote? No, you can't vote in card.
Oh, really?
So you can talk all that for my brother.
You doesn't?
People like me who be on the ground, who have manipulated and who have dealt in local politics, we can talk about it.
Manipulated. They're coming for you. They're coming for manipulated. They're coming for you.
I'm calling you directly by name. 1 second before I get disconnected, because something disconnected me. I talk directly by name. At the end of the day, you are a civil engineer in the great state of California. Take that opportunity. Take that knowledge base you have and invest in former company like Liberia. Invest in the physical infrastructure development of our country. So now I be talking about I support the president. That means nothing. The president will appreciate you going on the ground and say, Mr. President, I'm an engineer. How can I help you with this?
They don't know me. I don't know them.
But then what you getting for when you know you?
Okay, thank you so much. Moses, good to have you. Welcome. I'll be coming to you. Terry, let me just insert you into this conversation.
Mr. So, please, Mr. So, no, 1 minute. Can you give me 1 second, please?
You give me 1 second.
No, please give me 1 second. Only 1 second, please. 1 second. 1 second, please. Please. Let me say this to Mr. Ezanko.
Oh, God.
The president.
1 second, finish time.
No. You know, Liberia, when they say 1 second, I beg you, don't start at it. The president of the Republic of Liberia, your point is quite correct. How does these things affect our country and what do we benefit? The president, you know, you're from the country, you're like me. When you go in on the farm, in the morning, you part the way. You put all the things so you can go through and go to the farm. This is what the president is doing. All of the corrupt people, he throwing them aside so we will get to the promised land.
You know, one of the things about our constitution, it says that we have a unitary form of government. And what that basically means in layman terminology, it means that all power are inherent in the president. So we got an imperial presidency. This is nothing against the current president.
All powers are not inherent in the president. It doesn't say that. All powers are inherent in the people. It never says that anyway in our constitution. All powers are inherent in the people.
Let me make one point. We all talk about democracy and I agree with it. But you must go to your constitution. Your constitution stands off by defining the country, defining our form of government.
Why does it say all powers are inherent in the president?
It says we want a unitary form of government.
It doesn't unitary with a dark camera. No, unitary means you don't have a president and you have a prime minister. That's what unitary means. And it defines out a bicameral legislature and it says all power is inherent in the people in the constitution. In no way state is inherent in the
how is the functionality of that constitution?
In the constitution, it says a unitary president does not suggest that we have an imperial president.
He's going now. He's going now. There again.
That's not true.
He's going now.
In the back.
Okay.
You're gone. You're gone.
Okay, gentlemen, let's do this. Let's do this. This is LPR.
Jeremy, I got your fire. Let's continue.
Yeah,
I like
this is LPR. We intend not to
I
leave
mean,
no
here's Shani. Oh.
guys. Please listen to me. This is LPR. We have our audience. We have our people with us, and they also want to get a takeaway. We don't want to be like other people. So if we can just play back. You see, this is a headache you give to us, and at the same headache you care to national government. See what's going on here, because all of you people are politically minded, and everybody try to protect his or her own alligator. And when I say I am the owner and only, then the liberal throws hang and all of that. So let's come back to baseline here. Let's leave it as it is. Moses, welcome. Let me bring in the Reverend to bring in some scripture here to stabilize this conversation. It's not even guaranteed, because the Reverend himself is more political than even the sister and the liberal. So let's see what happens. Terry, let's bring you in here. See what is happening here. Just imagine how difficult it is to handle to the national government. You listen to the liberal, you listen to Keter. Let's hear you. Can we, can we effectively remove ourselves into these things that are happening and forget about, oh, because I support this man? And let's say we, have an honest conversation. Is that possible? Are you the right person?
I don't think so, Mr. So, because people are patriotic on the basis of individual, sometimes individualism, tribalism, and only very few people are nationalistic. And with the way Liberia going, we have only few people who are nationalistic. People are naming themselves we are Shan. So it tells you when somebody calls themselves we are Shan, it means that they are patriotic on the basis of an individual and not a country. So how can you convince that kind of man about anything good about your country, even if another president is doing well? You can't. But what I want to say, Mr. So, is this. I believe we Liberians just let talking. We let to talk. So these platforms are good to make us talk to get rid of the stress. Because we come on the show and be talking about how the people corrupt, the people stealing. Then when the government go after the stealing people, then we say, no, that other person is not supposed to put them in jail. That's a contradiction. Then it means you just let talking. That tabula rasa bugamia. So let's keep having this show then to just get rid of our stress and just keep talking. Because we the Liberians, we're not ready for change. We pretend that we want it. But when we are pushed down to shop, we don't want it. I'm telling you, we don't want it. Right. People will literally see a Zogo. Somebody who will steal a cell phone will be beaten to death. But somebody who will steal 29,000 bags of rice from Liberians that suffer from this from natural disaster, you say, oh no, let a person go, man. Then we talk about corruption. How are we ready to fight it? How? We're not ready. We just like talking. So we just go. You keep having this show to get rid of our stress, because most of all the work and thing here is stressful. So when we can't let that, we just lecture and talk. That's my own message. So that's my own.
I say I was quite correct. You're not gonna. The pastor introduced something, and then no tabula. The other man. Labra is interesting. These guys can get manufactured any kind of word. I mean, just so from the
Political buccaneers and tabula rasas.
Yeah, political buccaneers and tabula rasas.
What's the meaning of that?
Ask Keto.
Keto
went to the thing in the brain.
No, I reached that class yet. I reached that stage yet.
Well, I saw that video. I almost fainted. I just saw the guy. And just saw him there. What the heck is going on in that country?
Tabula rasa.
Political buccaneer. Tabula rasa.
Oh, God, my goodness. Okay, let's go to Delaware next to Joe Biden. Mose, good evening. Welcome.
Good evening, gentlemen. How you all doing? Good evening to all our listeners.
Yes. We call names, commentators. Sisse put it right. He said he a political commentator, so he will speak what is right here. But the conversation here, the past week, and our own prediction, but see how it's going on. Do we have that guts? we as a commentators to remove ourselves. You took a side, which is great, but what does it come with? Is there any responsibility you as a human being, you as a person for your country? Or should we just say, okay, because I took this side, everything about my person is perfect. And then when time comes, we put out a huge defense line, we put out some sort of iron dome, political iron dome to protect our own. Is that happening?
Well, in my own personal view and I don't think that we either need to define ourselves as being patriotic, be on the show, to look at the differences of issues and try to speak to it with some kind of objectivity. And, some of these things that people are talking about, want to be, we are Shan and pro Buckeye supporter and all that stuff. As commentators, you need to recuse yourself from those positions when you're looking at issues affecting our people directly. And I tried my best to do that on this show. I think it's important for us to have a discourse on the issue and be fair about it. Just this morning, I was listening to Fareed Zakari. Case in point, what Mr. Azango just said about the power invested in the president. And they had former Attorney General Gonzalez and what's her name? I think her name was Savin, another former ambassador. Both Secretary of Justice, and both of them served on both parties. And you know what they concluded? That the Supreme Court decision by giving Mr. Trump power is giving him the leverage to think that he has absolute and doesn't have to listen to the legislative body or the judiciary because of the makeup of the Supreme Court. And they're looking at these birthrights. I think that has been the practice forever in Liberia. And the president has been given the power by the people. And I agree with Sisson when he said the power is invested as per the Constitution in our people. But how many of our people are educated to the level to challenge some of those behaviors and to stand by those behaviors and to go out? Because you see people talking about protesting. They're not protesting against the most of the things that affects the general body for the greater good. They're protesting on individual basis. If something affects you, then you put a group together, you go protest. And that's how it's been for years. So we've put ourselves in a position where people come out and just say things, based on their individuality and not looking at the holistic issue affecting the country. And the case in point is the reason, like you rightfully said, the recent arrest. It doesn't matter who the person is. Let the justice system take its course and let those people prove themselves. They challenge it because once you have a prima facie evidence, which is the first sight evidence that you see that implicates the person, that's what is presented in court. And if that is presented in court, the person goes into the court, and now they have the obligation and the challenge to prove that those evidence would not stand in court. That's what is called beyond a reasonable doubt in criminal justice. So we need to come on this show, I think, have an open mind, and see how we can address things from being patriotic and not, taking side, and just for the interest of our audience and for the goodness of our country, Liberia. So I would say that for now, and then hopefully we can prepare on it later on as we listen to other people.
Yeah, but so quickly here to nail it, the issue of this wish on here. How do we as commentators, hosts, can set a part of like probably you were saying on, where the people in the past government, they are so them being called in, no 1 year is being called in. So obviously, he said that is a wish hunt. is it a witch hunt? What is the identity of a witch hunt?
Well, the identity of a witch hunt decides on what you talk about when we talked about. Let's take, for instance, a case in this country where, what's his name? I'm forgetting the guy's name, but his name is Donald Trump. Prior to being elected, he said he was going after everybody, that they had weaponized the Department of Justice. Everyone who were against the January 6th folks, he was going after them. He dismissed all of his the prosecutors. That's a witch hunt. In Liberia, what happening is that we see one person, and I keep saying this, the police chief, the IG, making press conferences when there are arrests going on. Some of these things, he's not supposed to be having those conferences. I think he's speaking too much. And I think the judicial system needs to take its course and quote the Constitution when they go out and say, yes, we got evidence. We're going to look at the evidence and see if the evidence hold water to go to court. That's where it starts. Other than having people, having selective individual going after individual and continue to discuss the case before it goes through the judicial system, before it's even adjudicated. Because when you do that, you're tainting the case and you're looking for public opinion or public judgments. That's why everything has been discussed. Like one quick thing, then I'll stop. Like the foreign minister, he was in a vehicle, and I just watched a video this morning, which drew me crazy. He was in the vehicle. He violated his rights and incriminated himself by having conversation with the media out of the vehicle, and Mr. Sawyer was sitting right next to him and making comments. In criminal justice system, those things are you're setting yourself up for failure. You don't say nothing. That's what they tell you. Your Miranda right. You got the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be counted against you in the court of law. You got the right to an attorney, and you can plead your faith, and you don't have to say a word, and leave them by them, and let the justice system prove itself. But our people talking too much, both the accused and the plaintiff.
Okay, let's get to baseline. I think the room quietly. We went through the rounds here. Let's come back here, and we said we're going to look at the end of the week and the coming week. What could be our prediction? But let's talk about some of was there any sources? Was there any pitfalls? There were a lot of activities by the president of the Republic of Liberia. He went to Grangie there. He visited the Talbot family. That I see a very big conciliatory process, healing the nations, doing what it's supposed to do. Let's come back here. Let me come to Mr. Azango here quick, and then I will go to the rest of the people. Mr. Azango, let me come to you. We saw the activities of the president. He is the chief executive of the land. So the new bulk of the news starts with him, and whatever he does is also a huge one here.
Right.
Let's put it into two columns here. Let's look at the successor of the president in the end of the week. Is there any that you on top of your head?
The president is doing what the president is supposed to do. I mean, he's doing what is expected of him. I expect nothing less from him. Of course, he has to go to the families and show and carry the grieving of the state with him. That's glad he did. He went to Grangie there and he did that. But like I started off earlier saying, there are other factors like the Mirabro situation, the Kofa situation, while the arrest situation in Liberia, that the country needs to keep focus on. I understand what Mr. Sigbe was saying earlier, but that happens to be within the framework of a federalist system. In our system, where you have a unitary form of government, it clearly states, if you go to the definition, if you go to Article 3, it tells you that Liberia is a unitary state. And if you go to any dictionary, define unitary form of government as a system where a single central government holds supreme authority over all political divisions. So when the president travels to Grange there. It is a state that is traveling with him. And so it's a good thing he did those things. But I think we need to, again, like I said earlier, our focus, or my focus on all of these shows is to help educate our viewers as to what our law says, how it's been applied, and how it can better the country down the line, and what effect it have on us in terms of some of the things I talked about earlier.
Yeah, but in the process, quickly in the process of educating, we have to create a sort of cutting edge as well, where we will find a gap, something that is lacking. We talk about it and maybe make a recommendation. But you didn't talk about, is there any failure on the part during the end of the week from the executive as far as you are concerned, that perhaps some decision or something they should have talked, addressed, they didn't do it? I mean, generally national government, not necessarily the president.
Right. Not I'm aware of. I mean, I probably didn't look at everything that was being.
Okay, quickly. Carter, let me bring you in here. What was the good side of President Joseph Newman Boyka during the end of the week?
I think Joseph Boyka's intention to identify and lay to rest some of our dark history. I mean, it was a good step. For me, it was a good step. Laying the form of First Lady to rest, and identifying with the family, doing the memorial a memorial of the former late president. Also, it's a good thing. One of the things he did. When you talk about the good side, so I will just leave that bad side out. But then I think it was in the good direction. I think it was in the good direction, because we need to put some of these things to rest. I mean, regardless of what the people did in the past, they are part of our history. When we name a president, we'll have their names there, so they must have a resting place, and that's what he did. So I can commend him for that.
And where you think was the gap?
Well, he asked the family of those 13 people that was executed on the pool to sign the book of the condolence for the former first lady, and I think they refused. I think that was a little bit out, because people are still bitter, knowing what Doe did to the family, and I think he did it the wrong way. For me, I don't know who advised him on that. It was wrong. The second thing is to allow a notorious killer, a man who is on tape explaining, and some of the evil things he did to even babies in the country, and he allowed him to be part of his security details openly, with all even keeping aside, and that for me is a no-go. I'm talking about butt naked, for butt naked to be identifying with this president everywhere he goes, and putting himself in the security details, for me is a no-go. Because don't forget, President Boyka came on the metro to carry on the War and Economic Crimes Code. And one of those things, if you look at butt naked, he was part of the war. He went to the TRC. He confessed. He said those things. Are they going to give him clemency or whatever they were going to do? I don't know. But being the person he is, for a president, I will not bring him close to me. But I mean, again, I think that was the two things that he did. For me, it was like, okay.
So quickly here, is that equivalent to that of powered proportionally to then former President George Weah? Can we compare those things?
Exactly. Well, and again, and I keep saying on this platform, and any platform I go on, this is the reason why George Weah was voted up, because he did some things that were not even right. And I would say that would make me an independent at this point. And even though you guys won't brand me as a Weah Shan, where I owned it in the past, but I still say, yeah, when you come to office, or before you come to office and say, my man did it wrong, my man brought power in the security arena, my man was doing this and he was doing that, and you come and do 10 times worse than what my man do, I got to call you out on that. And if I call you out, I'm not trying to be a Weah Shan, I'm just trying to be objective, because you said you could change it. Why again you doing worse than what he did?
Thank you so much. Mr. Goya, let me just bring you in here. I think my man here is squeezing some kind of alarm to get somebody to go some kind of way and make sure you brush it out before the day goes. But let's look at the good side, administrative functionings of the president in the end with too much just really went on. What was the most that captured your attention?
Appreciate that. Because this platform we come here to teach, and I hope my brother Asongo was on, it is only fair that we put facts in the space. Liberian Constitution, Article 1, the very first article you read when you open the Liberian Constitution, it says, before even you get to article, it says, all power is inherent in the people, period. All power. All free government are instituted by the authority and for their benefit. And he said nothing about power being in the presidency. And we talk about unitary form of government. That is in Article 3. It says Liberia is a unitary sovereign state divided into counties for administrative purposes.
Correct.
And the government is a republican with 3 separate coordinate branches.
Equal.
And so when we are talking about a unitary form of government, it is the difference between a federalist, where you have many states and you have their governor and you have their own quasi-independent administration, political body, and then you have a national government like we do in America here. America has a federalist system because you have governors who lead certain location, regions defined geographically. So my brother, Mr. Azango, should not tell us here that we have a unitary form of government. Ergo, all powers invested in the president. We're not saying that we don't have a subdivision that we call states, and we don't have a federalist system. Article 1, the very first sentence in the Liberian Constitution says that. So let's get past that.
Correct.
Having said that, and I wish my brother was on so we could have this conversation. But having said that, look, man, I think it is not within the nature of certain people who believe that we're going to be in power for 27 years. You know, when the baby thing he said was sucking titty. And the thing he said, man, we're telling you that they more for long. We will keep on the fact that when they take titty from the member prematurely, after they can get dry so fast because you were expecting to be sucking titty for a long time. What's happening with the likes of Puerto Keto? You cannot give the president a flower without having a butt, even when there's no butt. So I'm gonna lay. They used to call it, the flat butt. So I'm gonna let flat butt you squeeze inside. The president of the republic asked. He did not mandate. He did not force in reconciliation, which is why he's leading into when he exhumed former President Joe body and gave it a befitting. And I will say that on this platform, I know there are people out there who were hurt by policies and actions of the Doe administration, but you cannot deny that he was a president, and as such, he deserves a funeral befitting a president. I said the same thing about Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson was elected senator. He deserved the rights befitting a senator when he died. So the president is going about trying to make sure that when we have reconciliation, you know, the same people unification day, they were here passing, causing also where the president in the Buka dancer to talk about unification day. And the same people now, the president is acting on unification, not just speaking about it. They're saying, oh, he asked the people who parents were executed to sign a book, to sign condolence. And they said no. And the president moved on. He didn't force them. He didn't mandate them. That is how reconciliation starts. And to try to compare Bonneke going to Grand Junction County, where he's from, by the way, free movement of people, to say he inserted in the president security. Well, you blind? Bonneke was by himself. The president security by himself. So sometimes it really worries me whether my brother took 100% of his conscience back from the Sakimo tree before they took it, or he would have took 15% and then the court order banned him from going back on the property. Let's call a spade. Let's call facts a fact. The president is eating show on CDC in the southeast. Le papier where you say we're coming down. The person where in charge of the papier battery, I swear to God bless that person. That person yet keep renewing. The person you woke up and get issue on you in the southeast. Why hurting you?
Quickly here, I want you to speak to this before I go to Mr. Collins as well. You know, this issue, the former president, though, the tech thing, I mean, it's a big, whether we like it or not, it's a big political issues and it's a big political risk on any presidents who was willing to take this. Joseph Boyka and this Unity Party took the bull by the horn. Was there any political risk that was involved? And how do you think, let's sort of kind of navigate through it here, for the president to come to this decision? I would say it was fast in the sense is within the first year of his administration to seal this or to put it to a rest, taking all of the political risk, the backlash, and everything that's going to be involved.
I would say yes. And if I were advising the president, I would advise him to do exactly the time he's doing it, because you still got years to recover if there's any backlash. Versus waiting very close to an election, and then the backlash comes out very fast and furious.
Right.
And I think if you notice what happened, and I don't want to get personal in the those family stuff, because I know they lost their mom and they lost their dad. I don't want to disrespect, but when you look at what was happening between Zoe Penner and Victoria Doe, and you saw how it spilled out into the public, those are the kind of things I was worried about, right? And the president was able to navigate that, you know, and get them back together and to take some pictures and try to deal with that. And I know there's still going to be some split going forward. Another bigger issue that I foresee is, you know, like Keto was saying, there are people, including those 13 people who lost their lives on the pool, and countless other Nimbayans. In fact, I saw in some group, there were some prominent sons of Nimba calling out Jeremiah Koga for going there and signing a book of condolence for Doe, when in fact Doe had quote unquote murdered senselessly other Nimbayans. And people said they're going to vote him out because of that. So those are the backlashes. We know what's going to come. There are people, no, it hasn't been that long. You still remember the Lutheran Church massacre. You still remember the 500 other things that happened. There are crown people who lost their lives, sons and daughters of Nima and El Granji. That has nothing to do with Doe, right? And so the wound is fresh, but it only takes a president whose heart, a leader whose heart is ready in it, not for the political game to say, you know what, I know this is a touchy issue, but I'm going to touch it anyway, because in order for us to move forward, we can have all the unification days. We can go to Lofakan and look at our monument that government built for unification without any action. If you don't have any action, it does not serve anything. So I think this president did the right thing by starting that. My only hope is that they be ready for the backlash, because there are a lot of people who haven't healed. Liberia has not given people the chance to heal. And so a lot of these people are going to express their opinions and their feelings. It's going to be wrong. And the government has to be ready to deal with it.
The government has to be ready to deal with it. Let's bring in the clergy, the political clergy man here, to see anything in the scripture that will bring us to baseline. So, Terry, you listen to Sissy, you listen to Keto. And yeah, the woman took a risk. And as far as I'm concerned, and I think to give that credit, he played his cards in the sense that, and what happened in Grenada, in my own country, it was ridiculous. It was absurd for it to go to the way that it just went, and everybody doing this and that. But what he did was, I believe the president, if I'm correct, I saw the image of picture and all of that. He didn't just want to step to Grenada. He went to Tuzon. So that was a way of removing himself into the family field. Whether Veronica is on the other side, it is not within his duty as president to determine who is legal, who is not legal, who is a child, who is not a child. I mean, people have done DNA to say all those kind of things. And so he went there. So that itself, so whatever that are going on with the Zoe panel and within the family, something, it's on the so, but had he just left from Zouadrou and decided to pass, then probably, I think it was going to be a different conversation. Let me just bring you in on that.
Mr. So, the president is a traditional man. The man is a native man. He understands the tradition. And that is why I think Bodneke, that what he was talking, he said, and people didn't understand what he was coming from. He said, if somebody died, let's agree, they say Prince Johnson took the man's body, he burned it. He said, but the dust, when you take the dust from the ground to where the person died, is a memorial. They see it as the person as well, traditionally. So the man said that the president honored the tradition. And apparently the president knows it. And the president is smart. And the president did just what you said. He slept there. That is like scoring 100. You know, another guy was saying that the president ate the food that the people cook. The food the people cook in the town, the president ate it, is in his stomach. So that alone resonates with the Crown people. I'm not talking about other people who say that we are sharing and they for job we are, because those kind of people, there is nothing you can argue. For me now, I have reached to the point, I'm not going to be arguing with people who support somebody individual political ambition for my country. I'm not going, because there is nothing or the next person do you're gonna say anything. I have never heard the Weashens, the Seditians say anything good about President Boka. At least I would say this. I would not say the Sedition, but the Weashen. I listened to one Sedition who said the truth. He came out and said, "Look, the old man is making gains to where we should have made gains. These were places we made mistake. People say the man had already crossed over the man taking bribe and other things. That is how they think." Another Peking came out again. He said, "Look, the very thing we were supposed to do, that what the papa doing." They say, "Oh, the man did, the man that." But come to think of it, are these not true? Is this not the truth? That is true. Like I said, Mr. So, I'm tired of talking. I gotta understand, like, we just let talking. We like implementation. We just let talking. You go on spoon talk. They talk for year in year out about corruption. They expose corruption. The old man taking steps against corruption. Now they say, "Oh, the man has to do it that way. That the other way is going to do it." Meanwhile, you got people in prison, in central prison, for crimes that they did not commit. Or maybe they stole someone at Shuko. They stole somebody's slipper. They in central prison. But the people who ate millions and stopping our people from going to school, when we put them in jail, and we say, "Oh no, that one not how the government, they want, not how the government so to behave." But we do mock justice on other common people that just steal small things. So, you know, in my opinion, I'm not gonna be talking anymore. I'm just gonna forget about it, because
You're talking now.
Just let talking. It's a culture now for us. It's just a culture, you know. I think that this is not right. I don't think I would just be involved with just talking. I don't think it's right, in my opinion. Yeah. If we cannot condemn what is wrong and look in the face of those who have been accused of the wrong and they are being taken to jail to be persecuted, let us wait and see whether if they will be found guilty or not. If they are exonerated, then we say, well, it's fine. But until then, we're supposed to classify it as it is, you know? And in my opinion, people say, "Oh, Born Naked did that." I think the Papa did a very calculated political strategy, and now he gone to, and that's why Yeke Koluba saw. Yeke Koluba smart. Why the Sedition was laying down in Maria? Yeke Koluba said, "I'm going to say in the Megari." When he got to the ground, he didn't know that men were there waiting for him. So they resisted him.
Libra, can you take charge 1 minute? Let me just attend to this call, please. I will remove myself just a minute, guys, please.
Thank you. Thank you. And we'll talk about and leave with God.
Mr. Toe, Mr. Toe.
We'll
The fact that you come here and call my name, I'm supposed to respond to Terry.
We'll talk about Leo with God. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Terry. You're not talking again on the show over.
I said the security analyst here. What you say about that? You agree to?
No. We all here on the same.
Yeah, Hannah inside.
You different. Bye. But no, look. Let me say this here, and then we can all go around the room. You know, we're gonna open the line anyway. But
let me say. You see, you come in, the Liberal, you come and do your own thing.
It's the time to open line. It's the time. We got time to open line, Moses.
This is not your show. Everybody spoke except for me.
He was
getting ready to come to me.
No. Moses.
He was getting ready to ask me.
Wait.
Moses,
no. I will wait. Listen, I will keep talking until the CEO comes.
Keep talking.
Moses. No, hold
Liberal,
on.
don't ignore me because I need.
Okay, I will come
own
to you. Hold on. The way
Then
we
you're
go.
talking about going online.
Yeah, we're going to open the line, but I will come to you. Look, but let me say this here. Very quickly. As far as the door issue is concerned, what I was going to tell Mr. So is that I'm not going to respond to it. I will do my own all by myself. My response with door and what have you is going to be different than what everybody is saying. So I'm going to stay out of that one.
On your own, right?
Whatever position, what I be, whatever time that I feel to respond, I will respond. But let me say this here, in terms of the president and these people that are being charged. If I were one of those who've been charged, I will welcome the situation. These people being charged, be sent what I don't agree with. And the government have the right to do whatever they're doing, is to give power to whoever how they call themselves, the asset recovery thing, to recommend jail term.
No,
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with if the court going to send people to jail. If you know these people are capable of standing bound for themselves, they have no reason to go to jail.
Yeah.
Unless you want to embarrass them. And
Hallelujah,
for me, if that's the case, then you're losing the war. Now, if I were one of those who've been accused, I would stand on top of the mountain and welcome that. Because this, just like we talk about the accused, this is the opportunity to vindicate themselves, just like the auditing process. Auditing process itself is not bad. It's to clear the house, to say where you are, where you come from, where you are, and where you're going. That's all it is. In the process, in doing so, if the people are able to identify wrongdoing, they will also point it out. So these people, the asset recovery thing, and those who have been accused, specifically those who have been accused and their supporter, should not call anything like witch hunt. They should welcome it. If they know nothing here, let them welcome it and have this government to eat crow. Because if you go to court and there's nothing, you will look like a savior. This is how you win the war. But you can't say that witch hunting, which doesn't mean you don't want to go to court. No, welcome the situation, welcome the court process, so that you can vindicate yourself.
Okay, Mr. So, thank you.
Mr. So,
thank you. The sheriff is
I will pack you, Mr. So. I will pack you. I'm still running the show.
You see the higher overthrow. I just told you take 1 second.
He told me I'm not even speak. He told me I'm not going to speak. Yeah, that was say hallelujah when you came back.
I'm still running it.
He censored my voice. He even censored me. He even censored me.
He said, I wish on now. They had to grab him. I put it into that wish on. And I only went to the same professor for that wish on.
So no, but seriously, let me end up. Let me
rest roll down roll. Rest roll will go to jail too.
Yeah, I know. Let me end on this. My thing is this. These people and their supporters should seriously welcome this process. Because what has happened here, what President Baka has put in place, believe it or not, he also have his own people that are in this government. They're locked up. You try foolishness, next government coming, they will drag you the same way. So he's telling his own people, you see what I'm doing? You make sure you keep yourself clean. This is the institution building that the president is doing for us, especially you young people. So y'all shouldn't come here and can't defend your own whatever it is. If he's not a criminal, the law will be there, unless you don't trust the judiciary system that you yourself put in place for the last 6 years. What's wrong with that? It's a good system. You use it to remove Kabila Jina. You use it to bring Managora Scott to jail. Why are you afraid of it now?
Can I get 2 seconds?
No, you don't get nothing here. Why are you afraid of it now?
All right.
Can I get 2 seconds, Mr.
Okay.
Toe?
I'm coming back. Your civil liberties will be restored. You see,
Mr. So, if you want your show back, you have to respectfully ask for it. And I have the authority. To me, you give it to me. I should be man enough to say you can have
Was
him.
there
I don't
any-
want
Was there any legal document when I was giving it to you? I said, take it. You never asked for term of reference. How long you going to stay? How long you going to go? You see,
to. All right,
I
okay.
will
Go
wrap
ahead.
it
Go
around
ahead.
it. But yeah, quickly here, I want to restructure.
And says that you're gonna say down here. That's why I say you're nothing liberal. We don't trust you. You're gonna sit there and the man bring that kind of law and you can't back me anything.
You go take power over that easily. You show you for the Southeast. You take power over that easily.
And the current tribe is very strong. I don't know why.
Oh my goodness! So,
You know, a lot of people we let overthrow him, Benin. You might Akwe Johnson, you can be president. You say no, we get time for him.
So
Wow.
let me come to you here with this president's Southeast, but I'm going to restructure the question. I'm going to go the political line because politicians are very strategic, and that's a major political decision, political risk. Everything was involved. The notion, the mindset, and it's a glaring fact. Grand Jide, your county, my county, overwhelmingly for the CDC, not just one, that's not second. I mean, consistently, even with just in the election that brought President Bouaka with just little 4,000 plus votes. Now, taking such a major political decision, going in, sleeping in the city itself, going to 2 zones, stopping to your own time, and all of this, leading that convoy. What is the long-term political dividend? Even if Joseph Bouaka is not seeking re-elections, we just for discussion purposes, and if you decide to even lift someone hand up, is there a big political hurt on CDC with Grand Jide with respect to Grand Jide's actions of vote in time to time consistently for the former ruling party, the CDC? Joseph Bouaka scored a big political point here.
Mr. So, let me just say that here very quickly. I think what the president have done, and I'm not going to go into the Doe issue, I said that already, but what the president have done here, it's very interesting. Very interesting. Because this president, remember, he used to be with the PRC government. So he's not stranger to Doe.
Very short.
Those were the educated people that Doe and the PRC brought on board immediately after the coup, because of their ability to lead. And President Bouaka was not brought in to be a sweeper at the PRC. He was brought in to do a specific job, recognized for his talent. So all the Nyamanyamantine people can be talking that foolishness. I know the story. But I'm not going to go into it. But let me just say this here. So this idea of going to Grand Jide and showing himself, even if and yes, there's another interesting thing. Who went with him? Coca, the one who jumped over Prince Johnson's body. He sits in Grand Jide. Guess what? Coca did not go to Grand Jide. I believe Coca went to Grand Jide after consulting with the vice president. Coca is in Grand Jide, not necessarily we're working with President Bouaka, but to represent the interest of the vice president. And Coca being over there in Grand Jide among the crown people, it signifies a lot. Under President Bouaka, not only peace is ringing, but under President Bouaka, reconciliation is at the part. It's his whole hallmark. Let's come together. Build Liberia together, love Liberia together. He's demonstrating that. He's not just saying it. He's demonstrating that by making sure when he went, hey, yes, open there, I'm going to sue, I'm going blah, 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 all that kind of thing you're hearing. Did you hear President Bouaka get involved and say, you can't hear, let me put you together? Because President Bouaka respects the culture. He's saying to himself, the old people here, they got old people here before I came. When I leave, old people will be here. They will take care of the problem. They will not let their children drag themselves into the mud. This is a competition. And President Bouaka understood that, Mr. So I think it's a political dividend. There's nothing. Please.
Is it true that the people from Lofa are Dodi?
Oh yeah.
Do it
There
to
was
who?
there
For
was
the brown people. Oh
okay.
yeah, that's tradition.
You know, the man said he gets citizenship for he lofa man.
But I forget about Dodi. I'm a citizen of Lofa County.
The man is officially from Zongo district.
Yeah, I'm a citizen
You
of
not
Lofa
take it to
County.
your district?
Yeah, we trading Yaka Korba for him. We're giving Yaka Korba to
Not only that, Dr. Male too. Dr. Male, you're getting two people.
we're getting money and Yaka Korba.
Oh,
Yeah.
No,
how far you want to go now?
You're not put that money in that one.
No, Male gone. That better reality. Where you take it to grant you that?
Is already.
Let me close on the Mr. So I think President Baga action on this one. I think if there's any serious competition in Grand Jide, this coming election, President, we have better walk over there and sleep in Grand Jide for more than 2 weeks. And he do that, he ain't getting nothing this time around. Trump people tired with his foolishness. I say so.
Captain, I gotta bring you in this.
Wait a minute.
So
I
this
am
the
in
thing,
charge, most.
Okay.
I am directing this train.
Okay.
That's
fine.
Leader man. And you are buying grandma here. You
I
got
know for the mail.
Yo,
Hey,
you're
you're
getting
buying
independent chance. The independent on the show, on the floor.
They don't like you. Most say you're not part of them.
You cannot go to what they're about to do because we don't
The
wear the show.
independent is on the floor, please. No, on a serious note. So I want to touch on before I come to that. Before I come to addressing the laborer, I will address the laborer and Terry. Now, so let's look at this. When we said that it was witch hunt, I was not referring to the action that the government is bringing people to book for corruption. No. What I said, 5 people was indicted or arrested. 4 of them went to jail. 1 of them didn't go to jail. The one that didn't go to jail, she support this government. Since the court proceeding, she has never been to court. And you tell me if a common man on the street who is an opposition will not tell you it's a witch hunt, then I don't know what you want me to say. Any government that comes has the right to go after whoever they suspect of being in malpractice or practices, right? At the end of the day, the justice system will conclude, and if that person is found guilty, they will pay for the crime. We all embrace that. Even the people that are involved in it, they embrace it. It just the layman who his sentiment going here and there and they talking here and there. But let's look at it for real. You arrested, according to the police director, you implicated Cooper. What her name? Cooper. You implicated Cooper in it. Priscilla Cooper.
I was asking you to speak specifically to what the labor said, but I
choose our 2 things. I can speak to what labor said. Look, labor is dreaming and dreaming at the same time. There's no way under the heaven of Liberia that any president called Joseph Newman Boakai or the United Party can win CDC or George. We are in Grand Jide. I don't care how many times they bury Doe. I don't care how many times Joseph Boakai go speak there. I don't care how many times he carry his whole Lofa County into Grand Jide. They can never, ever win George. We are in Grand Jide. Take it to the bank. That's all I got to tell Libra.
All right, just give me the code to that bank.
Wait, which bank? That Akara's Great Bank. Why you all the things?
I never mentioned Akara's Great Bank. I never mentioned.
Y'all been close long time. Y'all not taking to the bank. Y'all bank can't nothing.
Okay, guys, we're gonna leave from here out of time. We are about to at least 1 minute 30 seconds can be the closing point as we're about to leave our audience. I want to come to you. Hoya,
so you feeding me like this?
I'll say Hoya. He's playing for my say now. Yeah, I mean,
since they can't eat that straight.
Yeah, I told you stop meeting with the liberal. I know you've been with the liberal.
Okay.
You will be some. But let me come to you to make your. You can go 1 minute, and then I will go around the room to do the. But a lot is being said here. But I want you to speak to the the political implications of the president's trip, after the trip and all of that. But I think he really took a tour. This time around, went with that float, carry everything, went from Zouadou to Tucson and back and all of that. And there will be potential change of mind. People want to see the different side of him, because this is something people are waiting for to see it happen in that symbolic sort of a reunion, or coming together as a people. People long been waiting, but who was willing to take the bull by the horn? I want you to speak to that before everybody start their closing point.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tor. And I'll be
see, this is why. Why were you calling me Tor?
I said Mr. Soul.
Yeah, I don't want to be.
Right, both of you and Tor, y'all got an issue. The other day on his show, he said I call him Soul. Y'all don't know your name. Y'all need to change both of your names.
Well, he needs to change his name.
Okay, so
that's come before the T. So he doesn't. He needs to find different initial and add it to his name.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, that's true.
No,
I know.
The body slept in total, not in Sotan. So
I know, total. So let me say this, and one of the reasons why I think this show is unique is because we speak to the facts when we come here and have a conversation. As you guys can recall, initially when we had this conversation, some of the suggestions on this very show, I beg the audience to go back and watch previous shows. We had concluded and shared with the public that this was the beginning of a healing process. We wished that this was the beginning of a healing process. And there's a thing that says a good leader will be a good leader or a great leader only exemplify the people around him, the circle he has around him. Now, if you have the circle around you that don't do the right thing, you're going to be in trouble if you can't make independent decisions. And now, when the old man spoke during his inauguration, with nobody talking to him about it, he decided he was going to do this in his inaugural speech. Over the period of time, as Mr. Stowe said, within a year and a half, he has implemented it, because he's saying we need to be patriotic. I think that's the message that is being sent. And so he, as the big guy on top, take the first steps to do this. Calling the people on, the other families on, is only opening a door for reconciliation, in my own estimation. He's opening the door for that, for the healing process and reconciliation. That's why I think he appealed. I don't think he just demanded them to go do that, or I think he appealed to them, and they had a right to say no or to say yes. Now, let me touch on the butt naked issue a little bit. Butt naked was very specific, and I don't know why people try to align butt naked with the president. But butt naked was very explicit. He said he fought in the war, he did all his thing, he changed his life. This was the first time he came out because he heard someone like Yaka Koluba going there to disrupt. He was specific.
No.
He was going there.
So, but I don't know all of the details. I don't know all of the details, but based on what you're saying, no,
yeah, the videos. I sent the video to the WhatsApp.
I watched the video. I saw something. Yep. But what I'm saying, he going there. He was going there because he did hear Yeke was going there to.
Correct. According to him,
he was going as a what?
He was going there to go and defend his people and his culture against Yeke Koluba. Because apparently Yeke said he had a right to be there because he's married to someone of that sort.
No, the reason I'm asking, when the president is traveling, it is the Republic of Liberia, the government of Liberia, the national security, all security apparatus must be present, and they were present. Yes. So when he say he's going, to protect the citizen.
Well, Yeke was going to Nimba. Does anybody ask you why you're going to Nimba?
freedom
It's
of
a
movement is
lawmaker.
in the Constitution.
Exactly.
They can move anywhere you want to move.
Exactly. You got the right to go anywhere you want to go. Yet there was in Nima. So what difference does it make?
Wow.
Okay. So let's speak to those issues. Well, you know, I didn't want to get into that, but I heard what Brother Nicky said. He went there specifically for that because he's the son of the soil. That's what he said. That's what he claimed. Who am I to get it? But the other thing I want to speak on again.
Tell us back on quickly. We are extremely out of time.
Yes. The other thing I want to speak on has to do with the arrest. Now, there's something in the criminal justice called constitutional law and case laws. And we spoke on the same issue the first day we initially talked about the arrest of these people. And my assertion here was that I hope they will lead to creating some statute. And I think Whitton Carter brought that out when he talked about the corrupt practices and who to be held responsible, who not to be held responsible. I think there should be a statute created by our lawmakers. Because what happened is that those 13 people that were executed was executed for corruption and my feces under the leadership of Dole and the military tribunal.
We're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it.
We
there.
have no law.
Okay.
And they don't have no law when it comes to corruption.
Okay. We're not
So
gonna.
I hope that they can put something in the statute, or they can use this as a case law to create a statute and know how long people can go to jail for, what the consequences are, whether you need to pay restitution when you find a corrupt practice.
Well, thank you so much. Guys, we are about to leave. We're going to use one minute precisely. Now 1 minute after one, not six. Now 1 minute after six. Remember that 1 minute after six. If you are also. So I think the conversation was very cordial. It was savored as usual, except the liberals wanted to kind of create some sort of drama as he usually try to do when I on program. He infiltrated a Zangote system with the help of other outside forces. We don't know them. Eventually, we're going to establish the investigations. The cyber unit of this network going to.
I know.
The Allied forces.
I said Azango just disappeared. I don't know whether he's in the cloud.
That right now we're talking to our security team. They're going to look into that. What prompted it? Who are those elements that are helping to facilitate those foreign folks to kind of go into our system? But honestly, there's no 1 minute each, and I will start with you, Keto. What is your prediction? What is your prediction in the coming week? The president took a lot of decisive decision, and that's what, and that's some of the things I was preaching here, and the liberal doesn't understand with his ally that maybe there's a hate for this president. We were shouting, we were screaming because we want our voices to be overshadow their voices, their liberal voices, so that the president will take some decisive decision. And the president is literally doing that. People going on suspension, state enterprise, this, that, because they're taking things for granted. They think that they are responsible. They brought their man, and just how people deceive the former president and everything. But now the sleeping dog is up. You know, he got Bob Willie. That Bob Willie star. When he suspend you, do your own with God. Serena, when they ready to fire you, they say go on compulsory, leave steady. Whether you will go steady, you not go steady, like I leave with you now. What do you see coming in the coming week? What do we show you? What's your anticipation?
So my 1 minute, I will start with my 1 minute, even though I will answer your question to just correct, it's not correct, but this system that's simple, right? So Butt Naked just didn't appear to grant you that. You remember when the army wives had a demonstration of protest? Hold on, can you change that coming?
We're talking about today, you're going back.
Guys, can we just hold on, let people use their 1 minute so that we will
The army wives had a demonstration. Butt Naked appeared at the president compound and said on the interview that the president, he had called the president knew they were there. They went there to protect the president because the army wives were demonstrating in the whole 9 yards. This is not the first time. Butt Naked came in a uniform to protect the president. Butt Naked does not have money. Well, he got all those pickup from to carry all the people along with him to Grand Jada. And the pickup, and that pickup that like, he rented, their uniform pickup. We saw them. So it's not something hidden. So what I predict, when I mean uniform pickup, you have a couple of pickup, like convoy pickup heading to Grand Jada. All right. So what I'm saying here, what was bad yesterday about Ofori Dia and all the other people that you guys talk against, and I agree with y'all, it should be frowned on today. It should be frowned on today.
Okay.
We know that this man is into broadcast personal security arena, and it's not a secret. He said it openly.
Thank you so much. I gotta leave it there. Let me break in. Terry, what are we going home with?
Well, I think the president is on course, is doing well. I don't want to do it on Keto Tabata with, what he need, Yeke Koroba have plenty of motorcyclists behind him with convoy too. What you say about that one? Joshua Blai, he has his own place. He's taking a lot of drug addict from the street. He had a record of his work. You want to find him, he's on Facebook, he's not in Haiti.
Correct.
So, that's up to you. The way you want to think about it is fine. But in my opinion, the 21 gun salute solidify the former president being laid to rest. And I think the president scored a political goal on Jawia that the one they don't let to yet. There is a big hole in the Jawia comeback. The big hole, the old man Boeing hole inside. And all the people talking about it. So we for me, this week, I know some people.
Old man, he's acting like a real young boy now. Are we permitted to say old man again? I think we are.
No, they're all killing the young. That's why we say they're all killing the young now. Labor then killing us now. We gotta be careful. They're all killing the young. All right. Because the old man now, when you look at him now, that way you used to put your head down for it, it's not that again. So you can say he's sleeping. But yeah, this week coming, we suspect, LIBERIA can get God hard time. So
do you think should we expect any appointment? A lot of people being sent on leave, man. So maybe some appointment will be made. You don't think so?
Exactly, obviously.
My predictions. Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe Mr. Bacon. The way I don't see Mr. Bacon, I hope they don't call him. Or Mr. Sigbe, maybe they will call Mr. Sigbe. Or Liberal, we don't know. Liberal will go.
Okay, Moses, 1 minute. What's the prediction for the week?
Well, I think that I'm hoping. I still got to keep hope alive. And I think that the president is on course. And I hope that the people around him understands what he's intending to do for our republic. And they should not take it for granted. I suspect that within the next few months, the president, the office of the president, going to start taking some big decisions that people would not like. Some people will like, some people would not like. I'm hoping that the case of this corruption create a statue for the future of our country so that people cannot commit crimes with impunity. I'm hoping that, and the president spoke on mob justice at one time. I didn't like how the conference call was conducted, but at least he went out there, and I stand corrected today to say that it was a good move, and we see what's going on so that justice will be across the board in Liberia, so that people cannot do mob justice anymore.
Thank you so much.
And I'm hoping that this show continues to excel in what we discuss and what we do, what we talk about. And, we appreciate the audience that come out and see us every day.
Thank you so much. Mr. Goya, what's the $1 million predictions coming from the overall office this week? Anything you think?
Yeah, I heard about people not to beat it, JMB beat it. No, I want to invest in private prisons. I want to be the one with a contract for buying mattresses and mosquito. No, but let me tell my thing. I want to be the one in charge of buying mattresses and mosquito coils for the central prison. I also want to be the one in charge of training mosquitoes for the extra room. We can put one, we can steal the extra money for the extra trained mosquitoes for special blood. So, for me, I'm looking for when the dancing around Jawia, but I'm looking for when they call something really, really close to him, like Sinabondo or his wife. You cannot continue to steal from the Liberian people. You are a witch and we will hunt you. I don't care. No, we used to have the old man in the fact and they call Kwetambo. You will pass around with the cow tail, Bobby singing behind him, and you were catching witches. Oma Boakai catch all the witches. All of them. Put them inside. And then I got mattress. I'm waiting to take the contract from the government to be able to get in. There's small, thin mattresses. Not the one where the Capitol Hill burners, then when they bought their own mattresses, when they go there, they must sit on the people mattress. Never brought for all people, beating people for stealing current when you know I say you wrote to. Bile, Papa, Bile. That I worry.
Thank you. That's the beauty of this network. Let's come to the most ridiculous man on this network. I'm not sure what he's reading, what he's looking at. The liberal, you go speculating, you go predictions. Would there be new faces in government? What will you see? What you want to see your old man doing in this week, starting tomorrow working day? I'm not hearing you.
Thank you, Mr. So. President Waga, baby, yo. See me too. You see everybody else, my man. See me too, Papa. We crying for you, small. Good night, Mr. So.
Okay, what a fascinating conversation here.
You give the rest of your time to me?
No time. We don't no layaway time here. I mean, you finish. You see that? You're allowed to break law. You're like break people. What kind of time they coming? The next one you not.
I just want to say something. It won't take me good 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Should I?
Let's hear you.
Complete tabula rasa Buccaneers.
Thank you. It's funny that Sese brought about the prison, the central prison. I think one of the justice that can happen in our country, so that our legislators and all these people who got power cannot go and our former president to the prison system when someone is arrested. We need to relocate strategically. That prison need to be relocated somewhere else where people cannot go and demonstrate outside the prison, and leave the judicial system to take its course. That's my serious recommendation.
Okay. Well, guys,
the president says something. The president says something like, "Bro, you say not for right alone."
The resources are there. We can work with him to make sure the resources are there to relocate our central prison system.
The whole thing that comes not
for right alone.
They are a bunch of what we call and tabula rasa.
When I saw that video, I know you said it when I saw that video, right?
Yeah, I said it.
A reminder, it sent me way back Roxy Cinema.
I know. When we used to be in line, we were for ticket.
Waterfront was my guy. That's the other guy I used to like. I just saw the guy out here. I'm like, what the hell? Waterfront back to life? What is that? All right, guys, I want to thank you so much, and to our saver audience. And if this is the first time, this is the Liberia Public Radio. That's what we do. We have these critical, painful conversations. Sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. But overall, we discuss Liberia. Tonight, ourselves, we don't not much inside ourselves into this national conversation. This is the Examiner, and now we are examining all of the analysts' talking point here. Join the most ridiculous man tomorrow, the liberal progressive on this.
We'll be here tomorrow.
We'll be. If he doesn't send you the link, I will. Well, I will send you the link. But I think the president at this point in time, I think he's accelerating, and so we'll see whether he stays on course. And I strongly believe no one is above the law. We saw just last March the former president of Philippines. It was accused, and who arrested him? The police. They sent him to the Hague. So people must be held accountable. This culture, it has to stop. All we want.
But for me, that was very funny because I believe his daughter is the vice president of the country.
Okay. You see, you were just talking here. You see, and this is the office out. You were talking. You want old lady to go to jail, so that if old lady steal, old lady must go to jail. The hands are stored. It's not old lady hand. Then a young girl.
The old lady store. She ran to Oma Ellie said, "Go back."
But when they broke, and that one, they were testing her for some kind of emergency stuff.
Yeah, you
She had
know,
to go-
it almost like a GV20. The way they hold Joseph Boyka stuff looking at. When they started with the letter, thing, they were catching little people. By the time Warlord, District Anthony, the late Morgan, when a big one dropped, County Superintendent James Tier at the time. They said, so Helen, anybody, we are, Clyde, all the people, no one is off the radar.
No one
If
is
the
off.
government needs clarification on certain things, they will call you. Go and clarify yourself. If you are exonerated,
But
they will
you
let
really
go.
believe Waka would throw Dabo in jail?
That's not what I'm saying. Don't
So
send
what I'm
that
waiting for,
false
I
statement.
get special
One
mosquito
thing-
train for her. Tell us so her.
Helen
boss.
Johnson Sirleaf too. She needs so there are questions she needs to answer, and that's what I'm waiting for. I mean, I'm not saying she did something
You
wrong.
want to do that one
but
so we can find a way to get Dabo out of that place, put her in a cartoon
you see,
and
it's
wrap her.
you're good, gentlemen. Bye bye.
Not
Put
do
her in
anything.
a cartoon and wrap her and get her out of there. And